I'm Nikki Bay, life and relationship coach specializing in emotional regulation. If you're seeking emotional balance, you are in the right place. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe. And if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, the link is below. Let's get into it. Relationship transitions. Today we are going to be talking about how to let the fairy tale die gracefully. What do you do when it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to, the way you planned for it, the way you envisioned it, how you dreamed it? It is absolutely soul crushing to realize that this love that you have longed for is not going to make it to the next chapter. And so I really want to talk to anyone out there who is going through a breakup, a divorce, or really just figuring out that this person is not for you. First of all, it takes a lot of courage to choose yourself when there's someone you love on the other side of that equation. And especially for you folks out there who are contemplating divorce, thinking about going through divorce, feeling like your long-term relationship is just not it any longer. I want to really give you a perspective that is probably going to be somewhat controversial, but I'm going to say it because I think it's important to this conversation. Marriage in and of itself is a construct that humans made up. And when you are in a spiritual relationship, which is what I think all marriages are, I think we are all in relationship with someone who has been a spiritual guide for us, because we are learning and growing and evolving with this person for a set amount of time. So if I take myself, I got married 8 years ago. I'm a completely different person than I am today. And so not being upset with myself for not being the person I was 8 years ago, who is less 8 years of experience, and also really wanted to be a wife. That dream was, oh my gosh, I probably didn't want anything more in my life. And so to those of you who are in the process of thinking about making a transition, especially when you are married, I want to say that understand that sometimes the journey is the length that it was supposed to be. And we have this social construct that marriage is supposed to be forever. And one of the things I always ask myself is like, who does this benefit? Is it benefiting me to stay in a marriage that I'm unhappy, where I'm depressed, where I am, loathing the next day? No, it benefits the patriarchy. It benefits these structures, the capitalistic structures that all want us to want marriage with one person. And so a lot of you all know that I am polyamorous, and my deconstruction of just kind of like the constructs of everything that we've been taught from a social, political standpoint, I really had to deconstruct what my beliefs were in order to even become polyamorous. And the same thing, whether you are poly or not, this is not a conversation trying to make you poly. I'm just saying that the same thing that I'm telling you about marriage is true in other areas, right? So marriage is beautiful, and I think it can be amazing. Monogamous marriage, polyamorous marriages, all of those types of relationship structures can be beautiful, but they are not necessarily supposed to make it the whole way. Sometimes it is for a season, and it was to get you to a certain place. And so when the fairy tale dies, honor that. Respect the loss. It's going to be a grieving process. It is going to feel like a death. It is going to feel like it's gut wrenching. However, on the other side of that, there is a new chapter. There's a new life that is waiting for you. And I do not believe that no matter where you are in your relationship, whether you are breaking up with a boyfriend, girlfriend, other, if you are going through a divorce, contemplating divorce, already divorced, I always believe that the best is yet to come. And no matter what place you are in, it is for your own evolution. And so you have to really decouple, no pun intended, the concept of this oneness that has been that we have been indoctrinated in when you're thinking about marriage, when you're thinking about the entity of marriage, because we're taught that two become one. Well, in this situation, you really have to think about yourself. You have to think about what it is that you want and what you are willing to do for a life that feels good to you. You are the only person that is living this life. And it may be unpopular to your friends, to your family, to your significant other. But if you know in your heart that you cannot continue to acquiesce, then you have to make a decision that honors yourself. We betray ourselves so much that it becomes normal to go against our intuition. But if you have an inkling that this relationship is not for you, and it can be for, and I'm gonna use this term, but it could be for the most minute reason. If that reason is enough for you, that is enough of a reason. Because one thing that I do not believe in, especially when you're on the married side, there are women who believe if he's not beating you, cheating on you, he paid the bills, like what are the problems? Like, why can't you figure this out? And there's so much more than that. It is enough of a reason if it does not feel good to you. And in order for you to be able to make that decision, you really have to get to a place where it's unacceptable for you to not feel good. And we are not taught that. We are not taught to choose ourselves, especially if we are mothers, if we have been in these relationships for a long time. And I just want you to give yourself permission to choose yourself, because at the end of the day, you only have this life to live. And however many days we have left, please live the life that you want to live, because nobody else can do that for you. And so really understanding that, yes, there's going to be pain. There's going to be a lot of grief involved. There's going to be all these other things that are going to come with losing a long-term relationship, but there's so much to be gained as well. And it's not about just having someone next to you or being able to say that you're married or being able to say you have a boyfriend or girlfriend. It's really about, is this relationship helping me to expand or contract? And how do I feel inside of this union? And if the answer in your heart and in your gut is that this is not feeding you, helping you grow, it's not supportive in the ways that you need, then you have your answer. So give yourself permission to make a decision that honors you. And guess what? You can always choose again. That is one of my mentor, Gabrielle Bernstein's mantras, that you can choose again. Nothing is ever final. You can choose to remarry. You can choose to go back. I know people who have gotten remarried to the same person. It happens, right? So just know that you're never going to make a decision that is a bad decision because you are choosing yourself. So my hope is that you learn that you are the author of all of your fairy tales, and that you get to dream wildly. You get to have a huge, big, delicious dream, and you're the only one that can make that happen. And as my girl Coriel would say, nobody is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. So for those of you all who need support, please click the link below to book a session with me. I would love to support you. And until next time, make sure you like, click, subscribe, and share with a friend. See you soon. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you like, subscribe, and share with a friend. And also, if you're interested in working one-on-one, there is a link below. Make sure you click that link and book some time with me. I would love to support you. And find me on social. I'm Get Mickey Bay on all platforms. That's GetMickibey on all platforms.